Just had put up here. Just stick it on here.
You okay with this?
Yes.
Right.
Is that where are we? Cemetery bush? Alright, we're walking over cemetery. Cemetery
Stay here.
Somebody's creepy camera. What's the cure? What's the cure? Get the cure! What the? Hi, under. Right, Servo! Where's your mask, Christian? Where's your mask? Ja,
Ah, komt er wel op in hoor. We're not being interested in the word itself.
Thanks, you know. Start please, don't move anyone, please.
Folks, stay back here. I can get the song. You have to move back. Just keep it all pressed back. Back a bit. Wait. Stay off the bridge here, please. Sorry. You have to move back. Move back.
On back. Get off the grid.
Where I go?
Go.
Folks, can you make your way in closer, please? Large crowds following behind there. I'd like to start this year's Easter commemoration by first of all thanking everyone for attending this fitting tribute in remembrance of those who gave their lives for Irish freedom. We, as revolutionary Republican leaders and working class areas, must never forget why we are Republicans. The failure of the Good Friday Agreement has not compromised or changed our socialist ideology. Our commitment to the aspirational goals laid out in the 1916 proclamation has not changed. Our requirements to help those in our community who need our assistance has not changed, and as Republicans we must never forsake the memories of those who have gone before us, and indeed those who will inevitably follow. Can I now firstly call on Charlie McAwee to read the Irish Proclamation?
Public na Éireann, the professional government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland, the Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old traditions and nationhood, Ireland, through us, summon her children to the flag and strikes for her freedom, having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisations, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and Irish Citizens Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America, by her gallant allies in Europe, and relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland, and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of the right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished, except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to the national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms, standing on that fundamental right and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world. We hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to its cause, its for freedom, of its welfare and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irishman and Irishwoman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberties, equal rights and equal opportunities of all its citizens, and declares its resolve, the purpose to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past, until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representatives of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women. The provisional government hereby constituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy the august destiny to which it is caused. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, Thomas McDonough, P.H. Pearce, Eamon Kent, James Connolly and Joseph Plunkett.
Derry Republican Barry Miller will now read the Derry Brigade Roll of Honour and Roll of Remembrance.
Ogla, Thomas McCool, Ogla, Joseph Coyle, Ogla, Thomas Kiernan, Ogla, Eamon Lafferty, Ogla, James O'Hagan, Ian, Jared Donaghy, Ogla, Colin Keenan, Ogla, Eugene McGillen, Ogla, John Stars, Ogla, Seamus Bradley, Ogla, Michael Quigley, Ogla, John Brady, Ogla, James Kerr, Ogla, James Jr. McDade, Ogla, Joe Walker, Ogla, Jared Craig, Ogla, David Russell, Ogla, Michael Meenan, Ogla, John McDade, Ogla, Ethel Lynch, Ogla, Jim Moyne, Ogla, Jim Gallagher, Ogla, Brian Coyle, Ogla, Seamus Heaney, Ogla, Pat Harkin, Ogla, Patsy Duffy, Ogla, George McBurdy, Ogla, Charles Maguire, Ogla, Eamon Bradley, Ogla, Phil O'Donnell, Ogla, Richard Quigley, Ogla, Kieran Fleming, Ogla, Danny Doherty, Ogla, Boy Fleming, Ogla, Charles English, Ogla, Tony Goff, Ogla, Philip McFadden, Ogla, Patrick O'Hagan, Ogla, Ger Loeb, Ogla, Paddy Deary, Ogla, Ed McSheffrey, Ogla, Paul Kinsella. The Derry Roll of Remembrance, Ogla, Paddy Mullen, Ogla, Jim Field, Ogla, Hugh Duffy, Ogla, Patsy Duffy. Former volunteers Tom Milne, Tommy Roberts, Stevie Milne, Kevin Deehan, Kevin Quigley, Tom Young, Mickey Deary, Charlie Miller, Ian Peggy McCourt, Paul Muller, Roddy Kierland, Patrick Patrick Brady, Joe Gallagher, Kevin O'Brien, Colin Mallock, Jerry Noisy Houston, Terence Digger-Moore, Republican activists Andy Shields, Dolly Kierna, Helen Doherty, Oliver McFadden, Kathleen Doherty, Mimi Taggart, Martina Dunlop, Patricia Breslin, Peggy Milne, Doreen Kierland, Jordy McGilvey, Kelly McGilvey, Veronica Taylor, Patrick P.K. Kelly, Tony Kelly, Kath McDade, Jerry Houston, Pat Ogle McDade. Dennis Gallagher, Jem McDade. Thank you.
A representative of the Tommy Roberts Stevie Milne Republican Memorial Flute Band will now play a lament as our national flag is lowered.
At 9 a.m. this morning, Metro Police, upper management of law enforcement are going to be briefing us more specifically in a matter of minutes. We do have 2 reporters at that location, so you will not miss it when it happens. But again, multiple casualties reported in downtown Louisville. That confirmation coming already from Metro Police.
Yes, and like Eric said, the FBI also confirmed that they are responding to the scene down here. They are coming to the scene. We have seen plenty of different organizations down here. We've seen marked and unmarked vehicles. They have a large area of downtown Louisville marked off right now. It looks like 2 or 3 full city blocks in line of Metro cars with lights and sirens on, things blocked off. Now, another thing to note here, like Eric said, we heard about this just before 9 o'clock. It was about 8:42 when that witness that we spoke to said that he heard shots inside the building. That is a peak commute time, a peak arriving at work time. This building, you can easily see from this building almost every large building and business in downtown Louisville. It is right in the middle of everything. Humana, just a few blocks down the street. Lots of Humana workers park all over this area just because there are so many of them.
That's a Humana lot right there.
That is a Humana lot right there. We are looking at a Humana lot. You can see the Yum Center right there. Tons of employees work at the Yum Center. All the little hotels, the Omni a few blocks away from here. There, Galt House just a few blocks even further down. There are a ton of people that commute to this area every single morning.
It is very populated, especially at this time of morning. Several of you would have received, about a half an hour ago, a lens alert, emergency notification asking you to stay away from downtown Louisville because of what was going on down here. It's a good time to remember, if you have not signed up for those lens alerts, this is why they are important for you to have. But again, Metro Police are reporting multiple casualties in downtown Louisville after an active shooter situation. Actually, Metro Police used the word active aggressor, but at any rate, we know multiple casualties have been reported here. We spoke to 3 witnesses that were inside at the time, and they described simply starting their Monday morning at a meeting in a conference room, and then
Our French anti-fascist comrades will now say a few words.
We would like to thank Siru for inviting us to participate in the commemorations in Belfast and Derry. We are honored today to be part of this commemoration in memory of the men and women who stood up to the empire and paid with their lives. 100 years have passed since the Easter Rising, and yet Republicans are still under British attack. We want to support the Republicans of the 6 counties who, 25 years after the so-called peace agreements, are facing even more severe repression. Right now in France, massive strikes are taking place, accompanied with riots across the country to demand the end of their old world. Whether here in Ireland or in France, we have a common enemy, capitalism, which brings poverty, inequality and oppression. Today in France, the memory of the 1916 insurgents resonates as an example and a profound inspiration, and reminds us that even today, a communist revolution is needed. Against the repression, it is more than necessary to help each other internationally and to create networks of solidarity. Being here with you must be the start of a greater cooperation for the years to come. We think today of our comrade Serge, who is currently between life and death after a police attack in France while defending water as a common good. And we think of all the Republican prisoners and affirm that even behind bars, they are not alone. Thank you.
Former Republican prisoner Jason Coolymans will now read a statement on behalf of current Republican prisoners in McGabry, Portlaoise and Highbank jails.
We, the Republican prisoners incarcerated in McGabry, Portlaoise and Highbank jails on this, the 107th anniversary of the Easter Rising, remember all those who have given their lives in pursuit of Irish freedom, and wish to extend our revolutionary greetings to our imprisoned comrades and all anti-imperialist socialist prisoners around the world. We also extend greetings and solidarity to the leadership of the Republican movement and all its activists. We applaud the ethos, courage and commitment of the women and men who continue to resist the might of the colonial powers' imperialist actions. Your resilience and integrity is an inspiration to all revolutionary struggles worldwide, and for this we salute you. We also take this opportunity to send revolutionary greetings to our friends and families, and to once again thank Siri and the IRPWA for their ongoing support of Irish Republican prisoners and our families. This year marks the 107th anniversary of the revolutionary rising of the Republican women and men who fought them out of the illegal occupation in the hope of ending British rule in Ireland. Those women and men who took arms for Ireland willingly did so in the name of the Republic after centuries of savagery and bloodthirsty colonial rule. For their courage, unselfishness and commitment to the Republic cannot be underestimated. Through imprisonment and execution, they paid the ultimate price for their courageous revolutionary acts in the aspiration that the achievement of the Republic would be fulfilled. However, revisionists of today would have you believe there are no Republican prisoners in Ireland. We say to those revisionists, shame on you. While you stand alongside Crown forces, Republican prisoners continue to have their clothes removed by force, just the same as the Republican prisoners did in the past. The sound of the cell door slamming shut sounds the same as it did in the past. The British Diplomat courts remain the same as it did in the past. The only difference is that the revisionists support our imprisonment. They have become pro-occupation while they stand shoulder to shoulder with the Crown forces. They show dishonour to the ideals set out in the proclamation. Republican prisoners stand ready to face down any aggression or attempts to criminalise us. Our imprisonment does not deter our opposition to the occupation of our country. In fact, it only deepens our commitment to ending the occupation. 25 years on from the Good Friday failure, we still exist, and we will continue to exist. Those responsible for pushing the Good Friday failure and all it entailed are as guilty as those who signed the treaty. They have betrayed the people of Ireland. Their project has failed and will continue to fail. The stepping stones of the past failed, and they have no stepping stones for the future. For our part as Republican prisoners, the past 12 months we have experienced numerous challenges within the jail. These challenges have been overcome through the work of both the IRPWA and the prisoners in a cohesive manner, which resulted in the Republican prisoners within Portlaoise maintaining our current conditions with dignity and integrity while protecting our Republican ethos throughout the whole process. For this, we must pay particular attention to the role of the prisoners' representatives who were pivotal throughout the whole process, and we applaud you. Other unforeseen issues continue to challenge Republican prisoners, but as a collective, we continue to meet these challenges head on and deal with them in the appropriate fashion. As Republican prisoners, we want to commit our time to assisting the Republican movement in building a mass educated and politicised base which will promote the ideals of the Socialist Republic. It is through the work of tireless activists, no matter how big or small the contribution to the Republican movement, that can be committed that these objectives can be achieved. The Republican prisoners' vision of the future is laid out in the proclamation. We will cherish all the children of Ireland equally. We will have self-determination. We will have unfettered destiny. We will have our sovereignty. To quote James Connolly, if you strike at, imprison or kill us, out of our prisons or graves we will still evoke a spirit that will thwart you and perhaps raise a force that will destroy you. We defy you. Do your worst. Onwards to victory. Onwards to a Socialist Republic. Be Ireland Republican prisoners.
Leading Uri Republican Stephen Murney will now give the main oration.
I would like to thank the organisers of today's commemoration for giving me the honour to speak to you today. The Derry 1916 Commemoration Committee welcome each and every one of you here today to their annual commemoration held at this plot in Craigan. A commemoration that is respectful and dignified, one which pays homage to not only the revolutionary men and women of Easter 1916, but all our Republican dead. In the weeks leading up to today's commemoration, Crown forces, including British soldiers, have continually invaded Derry. They have raided and wrecked homes and terrorised families, doing so under the guise of so-called search operations. But don't be fooled. These operations yielded nothing. These were not search operations. They were merely a tactic to up the ante leading to today's commemoration, to try and somehow cower Republicans from attending here today. And from what I can see, there isn't too many Republicans cowered today. But no matter what tactic or ploy the occupier and its armed wing throw at us, we will continue to commemorate our heroes. We will commemorate our martyrs with dignity and respect. Here we are on hallowed Republican ground, and I am proud to stand here with you. Today is the most important date in the Republican calendar, a date in which we pay respect and honour our Republican dead. It is a time for reflection, a chance to reflect on our activism and our part in the struggle. Have I done enough? What else can I do? Well, I can say there was a role for everyone in this struggle. No part is too small to play. The days of egos and self-driven prima donnas are gone. Those types of people sold out and took the soup. As Ugly Bobby Sands said, everyone, Republican or otherwise, has their own particular part to play. No part is too great or too small. No one is too old or too young to do something. Today is the 107th anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. A rising that is ongoing. It's unfinished business for Republicans. It will remain as the unfinished revolution until the occupier leaves our lands. It will be unfinished business until we have full national sovereignty. No amount of referendums that require British approval or attending partitionist assemblies in Stormont or Leinster House will achieve the republic that the volunteer soldiers of the IRA fought and died for. If anything, these entities are further barriers to the reunification of our country. As we remember our fallen dead and rededicate ourselves to our Republican objectives, we poignantly remember our comrades who find themselves imprisoned in Maghaberry, High Bank and Portlaoise who cannot be here today. We also remember their families and loved ones. They give us the inspiration to carry on and continually move our struggle forward. I have a message for the British occupiers, their paramilitary police and their entire establishment. So long as you continue to oppress us, you will meet with the inescapable consequences. Historically, oppression breeds resistance, so I quote Maura Drum. It isn't enough to shout up the IRA. The important thing is to join the IRA. Riggy Bell, Suki Orla, of the Republic.
I would just like to finish off today's proceedings by taking this opportunity to thank everyone for attending. It is not easy to be a Republican activist at this moment in time, particularly with the ever-present jackboot of the occupier on our necks. We must take no steps backward, our steps must be onward, for if we don't, the murders that died for you, for me, for this country will haunt us forever. As revolutionary Republican activists, we must stand strong together and take this struggle to the only acceptable outcome, a 32-county socialist republic. Chris Kearney will now finish off by playing our national anthem.
Sorry, I'll go back down again.
Shinna Finna Fall Atofrialegeren Winged our slew Our tjener Annikun Fwe voiced verser Shantir Shinsher Fasta Nilok for Winter on nothing joy Anoktain to Barnwell Let younger Grail on Bosch no cell Let young Navy scrape We love up Navile Shaniki on Hig Haran Naveen
Just before the crowd disperses, I'd like to say that the Irish Republican Prisoners Welfare Association will be holding a function in the 720 bar tonight from 6:30 p.m. in support of current Republican prisoners. I'd also like to ask the crowd to stay around and help the colour party disperse peacefully. Thank you.
Would you or someone be able to?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much. I did before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you maybe just stand out on?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Can you go from my left side?
Yeah, I can go from your left side.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Oh, that's correct. So, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry, we're just doing the interview. Sorry. Sorry, can we start first?
No, just one quick question. Okay. Yeah. It's another question. Patrick, just one simple question. We're obviously for 25 years since the party. You said it was a failed agreement. Why is it a failed?
Well, it's obvious that the Good Friday Agreement is probably passing with the opinion. If you look, we're now 25 years old, right time of the Good Friday Agreement, and what we have an increase in deprivation and an increase in poverty. If you look at working class areas across Derry and further across the occupied 6 counties, you'll see people struggling to eat, struggling to keep their homes. And on top of that, what we have is a failure of health services, a failure of education. There's ongoing crisis, and obviously the cost of living crisis added to that. And then additionally, what we have is still Ireland under occupation with the two failed states, neither of which support the Irish people.
Sorry. Excuse me? Sorry. Thank you very much. Tell me when. Before we start, are you recording? I just wanted to ask the name. Yes. So the speaker before, just before the end,
Stephen Murney.
Stephen Murney, and his role is
his role today.
Yes,
he's leading Uri Republican.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Thanks. Perfect. Okay. So today is this period of 25 years of the Good Friday Agreement. I understand you saying it hasn't delivered, it's been a failure. Can you explain a little bit your thoughts on this and why?
Well, I think it's quite obvious that it is a failed agreement. If you look, we are now 25 years on since the signing of the Good Friday Agreement, and what we have is two failed statelets, neither of which support the Irish people. As you can see here within the occupied 6 counties, particularly within Derry, you can see a wide-scale deprivation. We live in a society that's suffering due to a cost of living crisis. What we also have is a failure of the health service, a failure of education, a failure of housing. The list is pretty much endless, and neither of those issues have become any way forward or put forward in terms of the wider political sphere. So I think if you look on top of all those issues, what we also have is continued occupation. I think with the signing of the Good Friday Agreement and now 25 years on, the Union has been copper fastened.
Now we have President Biden arriving tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and it's going to be a celebration. What's your message to leaders that are going to be gathering to celebrate this?
Well, our message to Joe Biden is he is an imperialist leader of an imperialist country. He continues to support the occupation of Palestine. He is a friend of Israel. He's a friend of imperialist nations across the world. And as Irish Republicans, we oppose imperialism.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you. Cheers.
And just yes, I didn't catch your name earlier.
It's Patrick Gallagher.
Okay, thank you. Thank
no
you very
worries.
much.
Cheers.
I don't know, they're leaving, but something, I don't know what's going to happen.